So I've been hearing a lot of talk about the identity of Mashiach.
As the title suggests, tonight's going to be the big reveal. The big reveal. So who are the candidates? Anybody here want to try their luck? Oh.
Not saying you should ignore them, but those other people that you're hanging your hats on, talk to them.
Moshiach is going to be coming, ani, meaning that he doesn't care about all this gashmi of this world, materialistic, and he's going to go on the chamor, on the chumriyot, on the materialism. He's going to overcome his desires to do stupid things and sins. That's Moshiach.
When Mashiach will come, it is described as tunnels, as they're coming through tunnels and the ground is opening up and they're coming out. This is all a description which is highlighting the fact that in the Zohar, at the end of Parshas Balak, the Zohar describes there the events that will unfold before Mashiach comes. And at the end of Parshas Balak, the Zohar quotes the verse, Arenu v'layata, Shirenu v'laykarev, the prophecy of Bilam, that he sees the coming of Mashiach in the distant future. And the Zohar elaborates on different events that will unfold which will lead up to the coming of Mashiach. And most importantly, in our preparation for the coming of Mashiach, so we'll take a look if there's any connection between the concept of tunnels and the coming of Mashiach.
Earlier today, I asked you a question. I said, how would you feel if I called you a monster?
If you called me a monster, my first reaction to that is a negative one. I generally associate monsters with demonic forces that we all have inside of us. But I want to know where you're going with this.
I think we're all monsters. I think some of us hide the fact that we're monsters more than others. Other people are willing to show what they're capable of.
Will the real Mashiach please stand up?
Hashem already focused. He said, okay, I'm telling you my vision. I'm telling you my plan. My plan is Mashiach, who's going to be at the end of time. But he was already present at the very beginning.
It is really the Messianic light. In other words, the information of that Messianic light is so great that it will ultimately change the entire world. Now, beauty is a very important concept. What beauty is when many, many different pieces fit together in a harmonious blend. So if you look at it individually, then each one seems to be a separate piece. But if you see them all together, there's some type of, what comes out of that is a tremendous integration that expresses a beauty far beyond the pieces. Are we looking at something which is fragmented? Or are we rather looking at something which is all together, it's all integrated, you see?
He is here. I don't believe he's in Jerusalem. I do believe, however, he's in New York. He's in the United States. And that may sound odd, but the reason for that is that the Mashiach, Messiah, is born and raised in the country that he will ultimately change. I don't know if I want to use the word overthrow, because I don't know if that's the proper word, but clearly modify, radically alter and change. We find that to be very true.
May I merit to sit in the shadow of his donkey's dung. So what, only Reshaim is scared of the Mashiach? Let's see.
Into a structure where you can see each piece, not only understand each piece, but you can understand the relationship between each piece. You see, that's a very important idea. Because essentially, the difference between the Sheikh ben Yosef's wisdom, you see, which is really the Messianic light, and the wisdom that we have today, is that the wisdom we have today is all piecemeal. It's all fragmented. It's called pirud. Everything is separate, you see. But the Mashiach ben Yosef, what he does is he weaves everything together into a beautiful tapestry or fabric, where when you look at one piece, you're looking at the totality, the scope of the Chokhmah. The Torah in many ways is fragmented, you see. We don't see the underlying theme. or what connects the entire Torah together. We don't see that. That is concealed from us. So what the Mashiach ben Yosef does is that he unifies everything. He integrates everything. But he integrates not only the physical world, but he integrates the spiritual world, and then he integrates the physical with the spiritual, and the spiritual with the physical. You see, where everything is seen as a tremendous jigsaw puzzle looking at the big picture. And apparently that chokhmah is the tremendous chokhmah or wisdom of reality. And what does everybody seek when you think about it? They want to know what is real. What is reality all about? You see, everybody wonders growing up, what is reality really? And value is, in this reality, what is important. That's the concept of value. But basic, first, is the concept of reality. What is it? So the reality of the wisdom of the Mashiach ben Yosef, which is the Messianic light, is the real reality. You see, it goes from one end to the other end, where you see everything connected. And once you have that, then you could decide on value. Well, within that understanding of reality, right, what is important and what is not important? That's the concept of value. But you really can only have value when you have reality. And that's called the Kani Re'im. It's really what it is. That's the horns of a Re'im, which are magnificent horns, the symmetry and so on, the way they bend and fold and so on. And these are the weapons that the Mashiach ben Yosef uses. And that's how he convinces everybody the truth of God, the truth of his will, but somehow he is able to weave the reality of this world with the reality of the Torah and with the reality of all the spiritual worlds. And the metaphor for that is called the Kani Re'im, the horns of the Re'im.
People say, I can't wait for Mashiach to come. Why? If you say, I can't wait for Mashiach to come, by default that means you know nothing about Torah. Why? You'll see. Know where you stand. Isn't he allowed to disagree with them? No. Why? You have to be at his level.
Yes, wait a minute. So, does he get ruchnistic abilities when he becomes the Mashiach? No. He has them now, while he's walking around as a Clark Kent. You see? And he knows that it's Mashiach. He's over there. Oh, so he said, when is he coming? What are you asking me for? Go ask the Mashiach. He's right over there. It's like, he's your local neighbor.